It is Friday, January 23rd, and welcome to a new edition of Concacaf Video Signals. Today, we'll take a look at the Concacaf Nations Cup that started last night in Honduras. Also, we'll preview tomorrow's friendly between the United States and Sweden. We open with Group A action at the Concacaf Nations Cup in Tegucigalpa, where Nicaragua surprised El Salvador and Honduras defeated Belize. In the opening match of the Group A doubleheader, Nicaragua tied 10-man El Salvador 1-1. It was only the second time in 21 meetings that the Nicaraguans had not lost to its neighbor. El Salvador took an 18th-minute lead when Silvio Aviles redirected a Carlos Ayala ball into his own net. 7 minutes later, El Salvador's Sean Martin was sent off for a second yellow card offense. Marlon Medina scored the 85th-minute equalizer for Nicaragua, giving his team what could prove to be a very valuable point. In the nightcap, Honduras overcame a missed penalty kick in the 25th minute by Amado Guevara to defeat Belize 2-1. Guevara made amends, converting a 32nd-minute penalty kick after Harrison Roches had fouled Mario Ivan Guerrero in the box. Carlos Pavon, making his return to the Honduran national selection after a 16th-month absence, set up Walter Martinez in the 61st minute to give the home side a 2-0 lead. Belize did not give up and were rewarded for their efforts in the 86th minute when Lisby Castillo cut Honduras' advantage in half. Guevara was shown his second yellow card of the day 1 minute into stoppage time, meaning that he will miss Saturday's match against Nicaragua. A look at the Group A table shows that Honduras is on top with 3 points. El Salvador and Nicaragua are tied for second on 1, and Belize is in last with no points from 1 game. Group B starts tonight with a match between defending champions Costa Rica and Panama. Costa Rica has won 3 consecutive Concacaf Nations Cup titles and 5 of the last 6. It has won the most matches in the history of the Concacaf Nations Cup while losing the least. And Costa Rica comes into this tournament having played extremely well in World Cup qualifying, having a record of 7 wins and 1 draw in 8 qualifying matches, scoring a very impressive 25 goals over that time while conceding only 5. Panama was eliminated from the second stage of World Cup qualifying, losing 3-2 to El Salvador on aggregate score. They were the runner-up to Costa Rica at the 2007 Concacaf Nations Cup, as well as finishing second to the USA at the 2005 Concacaf Gold Cup. Tomorrow, Belize tries to bounce back against El Salvador, while Honduras will face it off against Nicaragua. On Sunday, Guatemala opens up its Concacaf Nations Cup campaign against Costa Rica. In international friendly action, the USA takes on Sweden tomorrow at the Home Depot Center in Carson, California. The U.S. has an all-time record of 3 wins and 3 losses against the Swedes, having won the last meeting on January 20th, 2008 by a score of 2-0. 17 players on the current U.S. roster have 10 caps or less, but the USA has 6 wins and 1 draw in 7 all-time matches at the Home Depot Center. Now it's time for today's CONCACAF quiz. Yesterday we asked if you knew the name of the Honduran player who had scored 2 goals in his country's 3-0 victory over Guatemala in the final of the 1995 Concacaf Nations Cup. Congratulations to all those who sent in the right answer. Carlos Pavon. That is the same Pavon who played in yesterday's Concacaf Nations Cup match against Belize 12 years later. For today's quiz question, we stay with the Concacaf Nations Cup. Earlier in Video Signals, we had mentioned that Costa Rica has the most wins in the history of the Concacaf Nations Cup. Can you name the country, however, that has scored the most goals in that competition? If you think you know the answer, please send an email to videosignals@concacaf.org. All those who send in the correct answer will have their names placed into a weekly draw, where the winner receives a CONCACAF prize. Well, that's all for today. Please remember to check the CONCACAF website throughout the weekend for more in-depth information and details. Thank you for joining us at Video Signals, your source for CONCACAF news.